Hello friends, welcome to a new video. Today is a very hot day here in the Netherlands and I also have a lot of stuff to do. Sometimes we just don't have all day to go out and shoot street photography. Sometimes you gotta squeeze street photography into our busy lives. On days like this you can do one of two things. Either you don't go out and you take photos another day, or you challenge yourself to take photos in a shorter window of time. And that's what this video is all about. This video is made possible by my friends over at Calumet Photographic, the best professional photography store in the Netherlands. As I said in the previous video, I want to do more videos about gear. I still am a proud Ricoh GR ambassador, but I think it's nice to shoot with other brands and to provide you guys with more value when it comes to different photography brands, different fields of view and different types of photography. So my friends at Calumet Photographic have provided me with this Fuji XT-3. And I got two lenses, one 35mm and one 23mm. And I think it's nice to shoot with the 35mm, which is roughly about 50mm in equivalent. And I am used to shooting the Ricoh GR, which has a 28mm equivalent. So for me, this field of view is very different than what I'm used to. So that will be quite the challenge. I'm shooting in RAW plus JPEGs, and I set the JPEGs to the Eterna Cinema film simulation. So when you see the JPEGs, they will have the Fujifilm color profile, and when you see the RAWs, they will of course be my own edits. So with that being said, let's rig this XT3 up with two GoPros and let's hit the streets of the most beautiful city in the Netherlands, which is Gouda. And there we are, it's hot and sunny weather. It's early in the afternoon and I'm shooting with a Fuji XT3, which is the first time I'm shooting a Fujifilm camera. So if you see me messing up the focus or you see me fiddling around with the knobs and the dials, it's because I'm not used to shooting this camera. I'm used to shooting with my Ricoh GR, which has a 28mm equivalent lens. And as I said in the intro, the lens I'm using right now is roughly around 50mm. So that will be a bit different for me. So when it's so sunny outside, what do you look for? Well, as you can see, there are a lot of shadows. The sun is already a little bit low, so you should have some nice leading lines in the shadows. So I'm trying to find interesting compositions by using the different light and the different dark parts of the photos, as you can see me looking for right here. So here I'm trying to shoot a quick portrait, but I'm not really used to the distance, so I was very close and I messed the focus up, so this is not a usable photo. So these are the types of shots I want to find. First you saw the JPEG and after that you see my own edit. Just trying to find some interesting compositions, something like this or this. And at this point I realized that the Fujifilm color profile is not really suitable for this weather, because as you can see it makes the photos pretty flat and I want the shadows to be a lot darker because I really want to accentuate the difference between the light parts and the dark parts in the photo. So I think most of the photos I'm taking will be my own raw edits. Here I'm just trying to see what the color profile looks like and what the field of view really is. Just taking some test shots. Looking how the autofocus is responding and looking at the colors and the shadows. Of course these are not really serious photos, but they're just for me to get a feel of what the camera is all about. Well, this is an interesting guy. I think I prefer my edit better. Nice hair, nice contrast with the red in his shirt. Pretty decent photo. I will not be showing you the entire 20 minutes because sometimes I will just be walking around and then I will fast forward a little bit. And I realized that the highlights are a little bit overexposed. So now I'm trying to find out if I just have to adjust my metering or I just have to use my exposure compensation to underexpose the photos just a little bit so the highlights will become better and the shadows will become a little darker. Just trying to find the right settings for these types of photos. Here I'm messing the focus up. I want to focus on the buildings behind it. There we are. And this is one of the shots I'm used to taking with my GR3. With the guy on the left and then the flowers in the foreground. But I messed it up. So now I just take one more photo of the flower so the guy doesn't realize he is part of the photo. Here trying to do some creative stuff with the reflections in the roof of the car. And maybe when you crop it a little bit different, it will become a little bit more interesting. But basically, it's a whole lot of nothing. So fast forward just a little bit. I'm trying to find an interesting composition. Well, this is a whole lot of nothing. This is another shot I would take with my GR, but as you can see, the field of view is not really suitable for those types of photography. And with my GR I can shoot directly into the sun, and the dynamic range of the sensor is sufficient enough to make it a decent photo. Here I'm trying to see if I can find some nice reflections. Some touristy shots here. You can try to make it a little bit more interesting by trying to edit it in a different way, but I don't really like it like this. Of course, I'm really challenging myself by only shooting for 20 minutes. So as you can see, I'm taking a lot of shots trying to come up with that one decent photo. But so far I came up with nothing. This is another photo I would be happy to shoot with my Ricoh GR, but with the 50mm it doesn't really work. So here I see something quite interesting, which is this very narrow streak of light. I just have to find my composition and then wait for the subject to walk into the light, and then I will be able to shoot a nice photo, I guess. And here my mom is calling me. Not right now, Mom, I'm taking photos. As you can see, I really try to find the right composition, and this one I like. Boom. And then when you edit it correctly, and here I have a photo I would be okay with. Usually on spots like this I would wait a little bit longer and see if I can find some other subjects to walk into the streak of light. But of course this is a 20-minute photography challenge, so I gotta keep moving and find some other shots. Here I see another streak of light, which could be interesting. But unfortunately there's no one sitting in the chair. And here I'm just taking a shot of the alleyway just to see what the field of view is and how I can use the shadows in the composition. And here I see a man coming on a bike, trying to find the composition, shoot it. Nope, doesn't work. So fast forward a little bit. And on shots like these, I really wait for the man on the bike to almost ride into the shadow, and that will be the moment I take my shot. So I have a very dark background, and then I have the highlights on the subject to try to make it an interesting composition. Here again, I'm trying to find the correct light. Here I'm trying to go for this vintage look because I like the sign, but there are no people in the photo and I don't really like it. And here I see this interesting composition, which is a little triangle of light. This basically is a test shot. And here I realize that my shot is a little bit overexposed, so I'm going to use the exposure compensation to drop it down one stop. And I'm trying to find the right subject to walk into the triangle, and I think this will be an interesting composition. So I will just wait for a little bit, pre-focused, and here comes a subject, wait for it, shoot, shoot, and shoot, which I think will be a pretty nice photo. And here's another subject, a small family, shoot it again. But I especially like this photo. I like the color of the skirt of the woman, and I like how the light is pointing towards her, which in my opinion is a pretty interesting composition. And again, if I had more time, I would wait here just a little bit longer to see if I can make a more interesting photo. But since this is a 20-minute challenge, I gotta keep moving and I gotta keep shooting. And it makes it more fun just to put some pressure on it. Try to be more creative and to step out of my comfort zone. Challenges like these really make you try more and try harder and be more creative, which I think is a good thing. So here I see this other wall of shadows. This guy coming out of the shadow, but I want to take a photo of someone going into the shadow, but it doesn't really make for an interesting composition, so I let it go. Here again I see this streak of light. Ik ben klaar, dankjewel hoor. Always friendly people here in Gouda. So here I'm trying to find another nice composition, but I don't really like the trash can. So I'm trying to see if I can make a composition which does not involve the trash can. So I'm stepping in a little bit closer. And I especially like the last one, where the girl is not inside the light anymore, but because she's still in the shot, her face is like a silhouette, which is a fortunate accident because I really like the result of that photo. Here I realize that the light is coming from the other direction. So to make an interesting composition, I just have to walk across the street and then turn around and shoot in the other direction. So here I see this woman in the yellow dress coming. So I'm finding a composition And I see the blue doors as well, which should make for a nice contrast. Take one, take two. Pretty decent shots. I especially like this one. The yellow of her dress with the purple from the flowers and then the blue from the doors makes a nice combination of colors. Here are two girls in another streak of light. Not really in focus though. Here I see the other guy coming, trying to do the same thing. And as you can hear, the baby is not too happy. So with that being said, let's interrupt this program for a Dutch word of the video.
Hooray!
As you might have seen in my previous video, I want to provide you guys with some extra value when it comes to the Dutch linguistics by teaching you guys one Dutch word in every video. And in the previous video, the word was Mooi, which means beautiful. And the word of today's video is Heet,
Yay!
which means hot. The word Heet can apply to both food, women and temperature. And as much as we like hate temperature, we don't really like hate food. So if you are ever in the Netherlands and you go to a restaurant and you like spicy food, be sure to tell the waitress or the waiter to make it extra heet. Do not mistake hate for the English word hate, which in the Netherlands is haat. But maybe we will come to that in another video.
Yeah!
So back on the streets, right where we were before the Dutch word of the day. And another small fast forward. I'm now on the market square. I'm just taking some shots because I like the colors and I like what the city looks like. So right now I'm just trying to create some different compositions. And this is an interesting moment because right when I'm trying to catch a pigeon midair, there's this guy. And that is of course very funny. And the focus is not that good, but his expression is very funny. I'm not sure if he doesn't like me taking photos or he just wanted to be in the shot. But I'm happy that I responded quick enough to take that photo. Pretty fun. Another small fast forward. Another realization that I'm not shooting with a 28mm, but I do like this composition. This is the City Hall of Gouda, and behind there is where they used to weigh the cheeses when it was cheese market. And here I see another interesting streak of light, so I will be hanging around here for a little bit. First shooting this alleyway and then I'm turning around. Try to find some interesting compositions using the sun and the shadow. Here you can see it. It's a very small streak of light. And if I time it correctly, I should be able to take some cool photos. So this couple was not in the light, but this woman is. And these are the photos I'm trying to end up with. Just wait for it. Wait for the right person to be in the right moment, in the right place at the right time, like this. There you go. And I think this is the fun thing about street photography, is that you can do it every moment of every day. When the sun is very harsh and the shadows are hard and you're in midday, then you can use the shadows. If it's rainy, then you can use the rain or the reflections. If it's windy, then you can accentuate people fighting the wind. And where maybe a landscape photographer has to wait for the right moment because he has to wait for the conditions to be right, a street photographer can just go out and see what the conditions are and make the best out of that situation, which I think is one of the nice things of street photography.
This is our jam. Let me break it down right quick for my haters, my dictators and bad raiders. Since you never seem to get it right no more, then right no more. Kick back your feet and watch your back from perpetrators. My game's strong in my Range Rover. I got the blackjack juice and my racks off the roof, and you see the SUV rolling up next to me, old enough to take you over Sesame. Remember, back when I was a kid, all I did was stroll back from the cold over South Bridge. My mama told me do no entiendo.
So I'm closing in on my 20-minute mark now, so it's time to head back to where I started. Trying to take some more shots, but this of course is nothing. And I think on days like these, the best thing you can do is just go out, see what the conditions are, and try to make the best out of this. And for me, today was accentuating the darkness of the shadows and the harshness of the highlights, and to find my composition in the streaks of light. And I think I did a decent job. Of course, you can always do better, but as I said, 20 minutes is not a lot of time. This is the last light streak, just before I'm closing in on my 20 minutes. Taking some last shots. Pre-focusing. And just some final shots. Fish banks, where they used to sell fish a few hundred years ago. And that's about it. I think I did a pretty okay job. Pretty happy with the results, so big thumbs up. And that's it guys, 20 minutes of street photography. As you can see, it's not a lot of time to take a decent photo, but it is nice to challenge yourself because it might very well be that in that challenge you can find new creativity. My favorite photo of this shoot was this one. And you can find some more photos over on my Instagram. So that's about it. I hope you guys like challenges like these because they are a lot of fun to do and they really help you to get better as a photographer. I just want to inspire you to go out and shoot photography because it is really fun and it's really good for your mind and your soul. So if you like this stuff, consider subscribing to this YouTube channel. Stay happy and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.